Stories continue to emerge after Saturday's horrific mass shooting in Twin Falls.
As soon as it happened, Isabel screamed, like duck down.
I'm your Twin Falls neighborhood reporter, Lori in Nettleton, speaking with the family of one woman who's in critical condition in Utah after bullets pierced the car she was in.
Devastating fires are raging in Spokane, and a local business in the Treasure Valley is lending a helping hand.
It kind of just started hitting us of the reality. I was like, we're not going back.
I'm your neighborhood reporter, Norma James, talking with this business about how they're helping out and talking exclusively with victims who escaped the fire.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Scott Rovell. The heat is building across the west. We've got excessive heat warnings and heat watches. We've got a heat advisory for southern Idaho. Fire weather warnings now being posted. I'll have the very latest on what you can expect when right through the upcoming weekend.
Connecting neighborhoods across the Magic Valley, telling stories from within our communities. This is Idaho News 6.
Welcome to Idaho News 6. I'm senior reporter Riley Shoemaker. Tonight we're bringing you team coverage as the Twin Falls community begins to find healing in the aftermath of Saturday's deadly shooting. A Tuesday night vigil bringing the community together as flowers, cards, and more amass at a makeshift memorial. Neighbors helping neighbors.
Even as we were setting up tonight, we had complete strangers approaching us asking how they could help.
The focus tonight not on the shooter, but the lives forever altered by this senseless violence. The families of the victims speaking out. Dale and Renette Schultz were in town for a family reunion when they were shot while charging their Tesla. Dale was killed and Renette remains hospitalized. I spoke with their 3 children about the man that they say was the heart of their family.
Definitely was a father figure to my 2 boys. They are devastated. And their lives will never be the same.
Since the shooting, their lives have been measured in hours in hospital waiting rooms, phone calls, and learning how to navigate a future they never imagined. But when Dale Schultz's children sat down together for their first interviews in Saturday's events, they didn't begin by talking about how their father died. They began by talking about how he lived.
He was a real rock for a lot of us. He was my personal role model and hero.
Me too.
He's just a very solid person that you could rely on no matter what.
The man who would drop everything to change a tire, wake up before sunrise to drive his daughter to the airport. The dad who never let the people he loved wonder whether he'd show up.
One of the things that he told me that always stuck with me was the measure of a man or a person is following through with what you say you're going to do and, being true to your word. And that is truly how he distills down for me. He was always there.
But just days ago, it was his children left waiting, trying to piece together fragments of information after the shooting, not knowing whether either of their parents had survived.
And I'm standing at home, 4 hours away saying, are my parents alive? Are they alive? Are they alive? What's going on? What's going on? And that was the hardest part of not being there and not being able to do anything about it.
Now their mother continues recovering from her injuries, and alongside that recovery comes the heartbreak of losing the man she loved since she was a teenager. High school sweethearts, married for 46 years, still holding hands on the couch, still making each other breakfast, still planning the retirement adventures they thought they had ahead of them.
They're just ridiculously in love in their 60s and doing what they wanted to do finally for fun. Yeah. And we didn't get enough of that.
And for his children, the part they never want people to forget is the life he built.
He was the most kind. He was the kind of person that, I measure all men up to. And it's an impossible standard because he was an amazing dad and father and grandfather.
Stories continue to emerge days after Saturday's mass shooting in Twin Falls. One woman is in critical condition in Utah after bullets pierced the car that she was in.
Gooding residents Isabel Torres and her sister-in-law Carla were stopped at a red light on Blue Lakes when gunshots tore into their car.
When we stopped hearing all the gunshots, that's when we looked up and I turned and I saw Well, Isabel had blood. She got shot in the face.
Carla, who is 6 months pregnant, was injured but was able to drive them to St. Luke's. Isabel was later flown to Utah out of concern that bullet fragments could pierce her vital organs. Carla says Isabel is in stable condition but will have a long road to recovery. The family is now asking for prayers as well as donations to help with recovery.
A virtual family assistance center is now available for victims, family members, and loved ones who may be unable to attend in-person services. The virtual center offers community resources and mental health support. You can access it by scanning this QR code on your screen. It's proving to be a historic fire year in the Northwest as Idaho wrestles with fires along our border. Utah and Washington are experiencing some of their most destructive fire years ever. Tonight, it's team coverage of those fire impacts as neighbors share their stories. Neighborhood reporter Norma James kicks us off with a look at the devastating fires that have wiped out entire neighborhoods in Spokane.
Spokane is facing one of the worst disasters in the city's history as a fire burns hundreds of homes and displaces thousands. I'm your neighborhood reporter Norma James, talking exclusively with victims who escaped the fire and a small business in the Treasure Valley trying to help our neighbors in Spokane. Spokane's fire crisis has displaced tens of thousands, and Katie, along with her husband and 4 children, were one of those families. She was emotional when I talked to her today and told me how her husband described their neighborhood.
He served in Iraq and Fallujah, and he just described it as a war zone.
I went to talk to First Choice Homestays, a Treasure Valley small business who is putting up victims of the fire and alternative housing arrangements free of charge. If we don't help, who will? We are a resource for people that have been displaced by fire. Fires are still raging and many homes and livelihoods are threatened. You can keep up with the latest updates on the fire on IdahoNews6.com. I'm your neighborhood reporter Norma James for Idaho News 6.
The Tartar fire tore through parts of Weiser, and now neighborhoods are beginning their road to recovery. Sunday night, some Weiser neighbors woke up to these flames burning on the hillside just across their homes. Now that hillside is covered in ash, and some homes were damaged in the fire. As crews continue battling the Tartar fire in Washington County, neighbors are stepping up, donating food, supplies, and support to families and firefighters on the front lines.
Scott Dorval with your Idaho News 6 forecast.
Good evening again, everyone. Hazy skies continue and the temperatures are creeping up. That's the theme of the forecast. We've got a heat advisory for the western Magic Valley starting tomorrow. It's 90 in Twin Falls, but our visibility today is better. Now, the DEQ's air quality monitoring site is having technical difficulties, so you might not be getting valid numbers, but last we saw was generally yellow air quality. It's looking pretty good. Sun Valley, a little hazy. It's 87 in Ketchum right now. So the chart shows yellow air quality. This is likely the case right now, but it's Idaho having issues. Hopefully they'll get that panned out so we can see where that smoke is headed or what the impacts of that smoke are. We can see where this smoke is headed in Oregon. It's moving up here. It's going to follow. There's smoke pushing in. That's Ketchum getting that haze right there, but not so much in the valleys. We had a little bit of a break during the day today, which was certainly nice. But temperatures are heating up. There's a 91 in Twin Falls, 87 Haley, 80 degrees in Stanley. So these warm temperatures getting hotter tomorrow. It could be 93 in Ketchum tomorrow with that smoke and that haze continuing, while the Magic Valley 61 degrees tonight, comfortable temperatures, and tomorrow here we go 100 degrees again with hazy skies. Heat advisory for the western Magic Valley. More on the weekend forecast coming up.
It's been a hard year for farmers, and now smoke in the air could impact harvests down the road. I'm neighborhood weather reporter Isaiah Sharp, speaking with farmers and wineries about how wildfire smoke is throwing another wrench in the season. On top of drought and harsh heat, smoke is the latest hurdle farmers have to deal with. Neil Durant at Big D Ranch says even 10% less sunshine caused by smoke can delay crop growth and impact timing on harvest, meaning he can lose crops if they go too late in the season. As for wineries, Josh Alger at Houston Vineyard says the smoke can destroy the flavor of grapes, meaning if they ripen when there is ash and poor air quality, the vine goes to waste. In Caldwell, I'm Isaiah Sharp for Idaho News 6.
In Boise's West End, I'm taking you into the construction zone for a first look at all the progress here at CWI's River District campus. In Boise's West End, I'm taking you into the construction zone for a first look at all the progress here at CWI's River District campus.
Since breaking ground last year, crews have built the 4-story steel structure. And Wednesday, I got a first look inside the more than 100,000 square foot facility.
So here we are on the 4th floor of the CWI building. As you can see behind me, wonderful views of the foothills behind us. As well as a great view of what's to come with the rest of the 10-acre development.
CWI's Micron Academic Center is the first phase of the River District development. Phase 2 will bring restaurants, a hotel, housing, parking, and more to this corner of Boise's West End.
This is truly an ideal space for people to have access, and that's really what a community college is, a place for all to be able to access affordable, empowering education.
As we've reported, this project is shutting down a portion of Main Street from 27th Street to Whitewater Park Boulevard through October to improve sewage lines.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Scott Dorval. We are tracking the smoke. It's going to continue to pour in from those fires in Washington and Oregon. Expect more smoky skies. But how smoky? What's the air quality? And what about those temperatures this weekend? I've got the complete forecast coming up next.
Scott Dorval with your Idaho News 6 forecast.
Take a look at this photograph sent in of some Montana smoke. This was sent in by Reese Thomas. He posted it on our Idaho Neighborhood Weather Network Facebook page. He said, that's not smoke there. That's not a cloud cover there. That is smoke coming from a fire, and an all too familiar scene across the west. Reese, thanks so much for posting that. If you've got a photograph you'd like to send it in, you can post it at our Idaho Neighborhood Weather Network, and you might just see it right here on Idaho News 6. All right, not sure which fire that was in Montana. It was there just a few weeks ago. There weren't too many fires burning here, but we may be seeing some newer ones that have popped up with that last blast that came through and, of course, hit Spokane so hard with that catastrophic fire. There's the thick smoke coming out of Oregon. It's developing right now and continuing to spew to the east here, and so we'll have those varying amounts of smoke as we go through the time frame. Again, Idaho DEQ having a little issues with their website. They'll get that fixed soon, so not getting valid charts to show you, but I can show you just to the west here in Ontario, Oregon. It was orange to yellow, and we've seen generally yellow air quality here, a little more smoke going through the central mountains right now. That's the current picture, but of course more smoke will come in overnight tonight because of all of this poor air quality to the west here. Thick smoke in Washington and Oregon. This will go to the east, and look at this. You got red air quality down the I-5 corridor. That smoke just getting trapped now in the valleys, and so not a good situation here as well. This was a haven from the smoke when you're west of the Cascades. Not the case anymore. So it's the entire Northwest encompassed in the smoke forecast. You see Portland here. Maybe they'll get an onshore flow to push some of that smoke away, but look at the thick smoke going through the panhandle of Idaho and then pushing through northeast Oregon here, and then southern Idaho. Again, not quite as much of the Magic Valley, which has been good news, but we'll just keep an eye on it for you. Here's what I'm really keeping an eye on is the heat. These are the high temperatures since midnight. So remember, Twin Falls at 91, Elko 97, Redding 104, Medford 103 degrees. So there's the heat building up the west coast here, and this ridge will surge in, and we're expecting temperatures near 100. That's what I expect here coming up for the day tomorrow. Everybody here in this heat advisory from the western Magic Valley westward here, also down to the south in northern Nevada. I believe this is an extreme heat watch. It should be a warning by now, but there's an extreme heat warning here. Either way you look at it, the heat building in from the south, everybody is going to get in on it. These are fire weather watches poised to be red flag warnings, as we see here. So you notice how this encompasses the Spokane area. This is what we don't need in all these locations here. That fire danger is going up as the temperatures heat up and the air mass dries out. Now, the specific fire outlook for tomorrow is just elevated to the east from Yellowstone. We don't see it here, but of course we're in high fire danger this time of year. As this ridge of high pressure builds in, here comes the very hot weather. It will temper a bit next week, but then as we go towards the end of next week, now seeing just a chance of a cooler wave coming in, which is nice to get cooler temperatures. but it brings the threat of wind and a higher fire danger as well. So it's a long fire season ahead of us still, folks. 103 in Hagerman tomorrow. Hazy sunshine. That heat advisory in effect with 100 degrees in Twin Falls. No heat advisory for the eastern Magic Valley. 96 in Burley. 94 in Albion tomorrow. There's some real good heat going on. These temperatures near 100 right through Saturday, and then it starts to slip down a little bit into the mid-90s by Sunday and possibly only 92 on Wednesday.
Coming up in this week's Wellness Wednesday, an easy way you can protect your children as they prepare to come back to the classroom. In this week's Wellness Wednesday, we're looking at one of the easiest ways to protect your children as they head back to school. Get them vaccinated, especially as measles cases mount.
There was a point in the United States that we just didn't see measles cases, and now we've had outbreaks, and just in our neighboring state in Utah had a significant outbreak, and they still have it, and it's just a matter of time that we see it here in the community.
According to the CDC, Idaho has the lowest rates of kindergarten MMR vaccinations in the country.
Parents should get their children vaccinated for measles. A measles vaccine is effective. It stops measles in about 97% of the cases. Well, people should get vaccinated.
Idaho has reported 24 cases of measles this year, with 23 of them in unvaccinated patients.
Here's a final check at that forecast. A heat advisory in effect for tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday for the Magic Valley, the western Magic Valley, with temperatures in the upper 90s, near 100 in Twin Falls, but topping 100 places like Hagerman. It points to the West Glens Ferry. It could be 103, 104. It's a possibility. Then temperatures will slip down just a little bit, maybe to the lower 90s by mid next week. I'll have updates on the temperatures and the smoke heading into and through the upcoming weekend tonight on Idaho News 6 at 10 o'clock live. We'll see you then, folks. Have a great night.